That's right, and I really appreciate that too. Yeah, we got her tuned up, got her leveled. We had Spear gave me the rush. Mr. Rogers did a few bail runs along with A from the TNL clan, which going to help him do a couple of bumpers this afternoon. Oh, hello. I'm just talking with the people over here in the chat room at mogulus.com/craftchest. And in this next video, we're going to start off by telling you a few of the little tricks, a few of the little trades, and some of this probably to a lot of veterans out there are no-brainers, but to the people that are new to Battle.net, that are new to Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, especially in the expansion and want to get their feet wet on Battle.net playing multiplayer, this video is going to help you out on some of the little tricks that you might not have known. And some of the veterans out there really don't know these either, or they might know it and kind of forgot about it because it's just that, a no-brainer to them. And, you know, a couple of them might be useless to you, but oh well. We'll all get over it. So, let me log on to a character, and I need to pick one with some good merc armor, because that's one thing we're going to start off with, is telling you about how to gear up a merc, because some people that get on Battle.net after they get a mercenary don't realize you can actually give them gear. Alright, so let's meet up in the rogue encampment and get started with part 6 to the starter guide for Diablo 2. Alright, so here is the first tip to those of you out there that are new to coming on to Battle.net, or even playing single player. You can do this, but you're not going to have the same gear that you can actually have whenever you get into multiplayer or playing on Battle.net. You can actually play single player on Battle.net if you'd like. Okay, so just make a private game where nobody can come in. Make your level requirement to where you don't get spammed all the time. I would set the level requirement up to about 8 or 10 if you don't want all those spam bots to come in your game, and so on. Okay, but first tip that we're going to show you right now is something that actually a lot of people don't know whenever they start playing the game, is that they're mercenaries, which mine happens to be an Act 2 mercenary out of Nightmare level with a defensive aura. And that's one thing you need to think about, is what character are you making and what attributes will he have to bring to the table that will be beneficial to the both of you. And that's something that you really need to think about. Mine happens to be a defensive merc out of Act 2 Nightmare, and he's a level 97 just like I am, so he's a pretty godly merc. Alright, now, here's the thing people don't realize. You can actually gear mercenaries up. And mine happens to be wearing a level 16 meditation aura insight, and the rune word on that one's Raw Tier Tall Soul. That is one of the most popular items for any caster or anybody that uses a lot of mana. As you see, mine's only 531, which is really low compared to if you look over here on the life. And some people balance that out, and that's fine. Go for it. I don't put any in mana. That's just my opinion. So insight will really help you out as far as building up and keeping your mana full. Alright? A popular helm, and in my opinion one of the most useful for a mercenary, is an Andoryl's Visage Demon Head. This one just happens to have a roll in it, and like I said, in my opinion, it is the best for mercenaries. You can put dream helms. I've seen people put delirium. I've seen numerous type of helms. I've even seen people put a freaking what is it, a Crown of Ages on this thing. So I mean, hey, if you want to put a coal on it, do that. It doesn't matter to me. But me, I like using Andy's Visage. On the armor, something a lot of people don't realize also about a mercenary is that mercenaries do best with ethereal equipment. Reason being is that ethereal equipment on a mercenary does not deplete on durability. And I know I'm not going to be able to show you that, and I'm not even going to be able to point at it, but look at the durability on this one. It's 31 of 31. It's been like that ever since I got this mercenary way back in the day, and it's still at 31 because ethereal items do not diminish or deplete on mercenaries. Just keep that in mind. And you can get higher defense and just overall just the attributes of the armor. Now it does have to be a white piece of armor to be able, or not, you know, not magic, not blue, not rare, which is yellow or gold, to make a rune word. And this one right here is Fortitude, which in my opinion is, once again, one of the best items that you can pick for a mercenary. And another one that I have on another character someplace that is wearing Stone. And Stone is one that you really don't see a whole lot of anymore. And people put that in Sacred Armor. That's what I'm using here. Ethereal Sacred Armor. It's El Sol, Dull Low. The low rune is really going to be the hardest one to find, but you can trade up to get it. And that's something that we'll probably get into later on in some later vids to get you going on Battle.net to show you actually how to do trades. So it's coming up. Just bear with me. Alright, now, there you go on the Mercenary. Now, before, I did one take, and I want to show you something right here. Here's another little tip. And believe it or not, there are people out there new on Battle.net or new to the game that don't realize you can do this. Alright, now this is full. This one's got 17. On either scrolls, on potions, or whatever it is, be sure you have it allocated first in your belt, what you want to be in each row, or you're going to fill up the whole belt with one item. But you can actually hold your pointer over it, and rather than just doing one at a time, you right click it. You can actually hold the shift down, hold the pointer over it, right click, and it'll fill that item up. You can do this on stat points as well. If you're sure that you want to spend 200 stat points in nothing but one skill, or in life or strength or whatever it is, and you want to spend it all in one, hold down the shift on whatever it is, hit right click, and it'll fill it up. Alright, that's tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is that whenever you're actually starting out, and I know since I'm filming I won't be able to find the road right away, but that's alright. Let me go this way and see what happens. Yeah, here's the road. Alright, whenever you're doing a tryst run and you're actually getting your character leveled up, and I'll be harassed out here also since I'm doing this, but that's okay. If you'll find the road and just follow the road, look at there, 9 times out of 10, when you find the road, the stones are going to be right off the road. Check it out. Alright, and here are the stones. Alright, and that happens more so than a lot of people realize. Alright, that's tip number 3. Alright, now let me just go back to town and see if there's something else on the list here that I can go over for tip number 4 while I have this good paladin of mine up. Let's see, minimap options. Alright, here's tip number 5, I believe. If you go into your options or hit escape, go to options and auto map options, you can actually do your mini map in a mini map type of setting. So let's check it out and see what that does. There. See how you can put it up over here and still play and fight? Alright, now let's go out into the field where we just were and see what it shows. Let's go out to the stones and hit the tab, and there it is. You'll see it off here to the left side. It's an actual smaller piece to where it's not like covering the entire map and the graphics getting in your way while you're actually doing battle. And you can keep up with you and your party, being that you're showing up blue and they usually show up either yellow or red depending on if they're partied or not. And see how the stones show up, and you also see the shrines, so you can still guide yourself around with that option. Okay, so there's tip number 5. Minimap options, go into it. You can either have full screen or the actual minimap. And what's next? Oh yeah, how to get rid of bots. I need to actually make a game to where I can show you how to get rid of a bot. So let me stop it here and we'll splice in the next piece and we'll do a change of character while we're at it.